This week, we are going to be talking about thesis statements as well as claims. Now, all of you know my question for my paper is it wrong to keep animals in zoos? Now, there's two ways that I could have gone when writing this paper. Okay, so these are my options. My options when writing this paper, because there's only two, is it is wrong to keep animals in zoos. And my second option is it is not wrong to keep animals in zoos. Now, as I've already told you guys, I decided after reading my sources to go with this first one. It is wrong to keep animals in zoos. Okay, so that's what I've decided to go with, right? Now, when we talk about thesis statements, a thesis statement explains the topic and the claims in brief. Okay, so basically, I'm going to take this right here, which is my topic. I'm going to be writing that it is wrong to keep animals in zoos. And then I'm going to list my 3 claims briefly. Okay, so this part is going to be the beginning of my thesis statement. So basically, a thesis statement will be topic, which mine is that, because blank, blank, and blank. And that's going to be claim 1, claim 2, and claim 3. So this is my thesis statement. I'm going to give my topic, which is, it is wrong to keep animals in zoos because, and then I'm going to give my 3 claims. Now I have to list them in the order that I'm planning to talk about them in my paper. So I want to make sure that my most important claim is claim 3, because that's the last thing my reader's going to read. So I want my best claim to be claim 3. Okay, so looking at my graphic organizer, or actually looking at my sources first. So I'm going to pull up my 2 sources. I have to come up with my 3 claims. Now my claims have to be my reasons. So I am telling my readers that it's wrong to keep animals in zoos. And from my source, which I'm going to look at my con section, I need to pick out 3 main reasons why I think it's wrong to keep animals in zoos. But I'm not going to use the word I. Okay? I'm just going to say it like it is the absolute truth. Okay? So you should not be using the word I at any point. Now looking at my just general cons, this says holding any animal captive it has questionable ethics. Breeding programs create dependencies, so meaning when they have babies in captivity, they'll never be able to be released into the wild. Most zoos are treated as recreational facilities. So basically, they're not really focusing on the research and the preservation that they're supposed to. Instead, they're just making a lot of money off of people who pay them. Number 4, the lives of animals are secondary to the lives of people. And so it actually lists in here the example of Harambe, who was shot when a 3-year-old child crawled into his enclosure. He was a gorilla. So the lives of people come first, which isn't really fair because that's where these animals live. Number 5, even if captivity extends a lifetime, it can change animal behavior. So this section actually talks about how some of them become very aggressive when they're restricted, and that's not really a good thing. Number 6, many zoos are struggling financially and can no longer care for their animals properly. So because they don't have the money, they can't give them what they need. Number 7, conservation is a goal that isn't always sought. So they say that conservation is their goal. However, they don't really do that a lot of the time, okay? Instead, they're making money off of these animals, and instead of putting it towards conservation, sometimes they use it for other things in their country. So that's not a good thing. Number 8, even natural habitat enclosures do not fully serve the needs of all of their animals. So different animals are going to have different needs, and they can't meet all of those needs. Number 9, zoos can set an improper standard for future generations. So like it's setting a really bad example for kids when we treat animals like they're just for entertainment. Number 10, breeding programs are not a guarantee for species survival. So this one kind of goes along with the breeding program that they talked about up here, where they said that, they can't release them back into the wild because they've been living in confinement. So that's not really a good thing for them. And then number 11, animals in captivity can develop severe health problems even with a high quality treatment plan. So this section is going to list a bunch of health problems that they have when they're kept in a zoo for a long time. So from these cons, I need to come up with 3 main and separate reasons. Now, I don't want my claims to be super specific. I want my claims to be pretty broad and general. So the claims that I came up with, my claim 1, I said, zoos are not able to fully meet the needs of all animals. Now notice, I did not go into detail about what animals they're not meeting the needs of or how they're not meeting the needs. I'm just giving a general reason. This is where I'll put my details and examples. Claim 2, zoos are more focused on using animals to make money than on real conservation. So there were multiple cons that talked about the fact that, they're making money off of these animals. They're not really helping the animals as far as like their breeding goes because they can't let them into the wild afterwards, things like that. So I took that information and I made a general reason. Now that information is where I will talk about down here, but you don't want to get too specific up in your claim. And my last claim, which I think is the most important, which is why I made it claim 3. I think this is really going to be my most persuasive reason, is that keeping animals in cages has a negative impact on their physical and mental health. So overall, it is hurting them physically and mentally, which I think is my most persuasive claim, which is why I made it here for claim 3. Now notice again, I did not give specific examples of why it's hurting them mentally and physically. I'm just telling you that it is, and that's my general reason. Now that I have my 3 claims, I can go ahead and fill in my thesis statement. So remember, first I put my topic. It is wrong to keep animals in zoos because, and then I need to shorten this. So my claim 1 is zoos are not able to fully meet the needs of all animals. I said up here, they are not able to meet their needs, comma, My claim 2 is zoos are more focused on using animals to make money than on real conservation. I said are not focused on true conservation, comma, and my last one, my claim 3, is keeping animals in cages has a negative impact on their physical and mental health. I said it negatively impacts the animal's overall health. So notice how I took my claim and I shortened it, okay? So you want to put them in the order that you plan on talking about them. So again, you have your topic, claim 1, claim 2, and claim 3. Make sure that your claims are very broad, general reasons. So you don't want to get into the details and examples and your evidence just yet. Okay, so we are filling in our thesis statement as well as our 3 claims.